Hey, everybody, how y'all doing out there? It is your boy Tony the Savant, back again with another one. We are here with sports and motivation part or episode two. I hope y'all enjoyed episode one with my good friend Wildcard Mar. But today we got a legend, a living legend in my respect, what I call him, Mr. Lewis Tenore. How you doing, man?
Thanks, Tony. Thanks for that. I always say a living legend, but thanks anyway.
With your extensive of knowledge, Lou, I gotta give my credit where credit is due. Honestly, I
Thank
learned.
you.
Excuse me, I had to get my morning coffee, get some breakfast. But let's get right into this, Lou.
Yeah,
Um, Now, if you don't mind, can you tell the audience where they can find you, your plugs, your channel?
certainly, certainly. You can find me on Facebook if you have any comments you want to write, and you can also look me up on YouTube. That's because I do this show from YouTube. Go to the Enhanced Sports Show. I mean, type it. Go to YouTube and type in the Enhanced Sports Show, and you'll see every week's show in its entirety. Unfortunately, I'm having a little trouble with sound issues with that. Like after the show, they can when they call in, they can hear themselves, on the show. But if you
Mm-hmm.
try to play it back, that's the only problem. But other than that, we're okay.
Okay, some
And
little
again,
tech.
with some of the stuff that we do in the show, you probably want to hear it anyway afterwards.
So, well, have you? How long have you been having those technical issues? You mind me asking?
Well, like I said, it happens after the show. When I go back and play it in,
Mm-hmm.
it doesn't happen. It doesn't happen during the show
Thankfully, yeah.
much. Yeah, but when you go try to play it back, that's when what happens. I try to think with earphones, without earphones. I just don't get it. But basically, when the show is live, I can hear everybody what they say.
Good. Okay, I like that. I like that.
Yeah, I can hear
Yeah,
everything. Stuff I don't want to hear.
definitely tap into the Enhanced Sports Show. I have been, I have had the opportunity to check out a couple of the episodes that you do over there. I know, Big
Oh
G
boy,
is on the show as well. I love G
yeah,
Dub. So yeah, great work, man. I love what you're doing over there.
thanks, thank you.
All right, well, if you don't mind, Lou, let's get right into the nitty gritty because
Sure.
sports and motivation is about, a lot of the content creators. We talk about 100,000 athletes a day, a bunch of commentary, a bunch of subjects that we get to talk about, but very rarely get to let the audiences and let the people know about us. So um, let me ask you, Mr. Lou, what got you into sports?
Well, I think it dates back to when I was young. I mean, young. And my cousins played high school football, and I think it transitioned over to me. And we always used to watch football. And I think that's how I started getting involved with the Dallas Cowboys.
Hmm.
Sorry to disappoint people in New Jersey because I know what they're all thinking now. You traitor! You're supposed to be a Giant fan. You're supposed to be like an Eagles fan. You're a Cowboy fan. Shame on
Yeah.
you. Well, it rubbed off on me. So sorry. Sorry to disappoint all you people out here in New Jersey. But that's how I got started, and the Jets as well. Because Jets back in the '70s and early '80s, they were a decent team, unlike
Yeah.
the way they are now.
Yeah.
So the Jets they had fire. They had passion. They run 'em over like a 2-ton truck. I mean that offense was phenomenal back then.
Yeah.
Even though that we lost to Miami. Yeah.
Yeah.
But Jets was a fierce team back in the early '80s.
I like that
At least I,
respect.
at least
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah, I recall, just hearing about the legends and definitely about the
Yeah.
Jets of old and how formidable you all were in those days, and even the Cowboys too. I mean, the Cowboys is
Oh
probably
yeah.
the team that got the most press in those days, but definitely it was rightfully so. You know how dominant they were.
Yeah. I mean, you can't forget Tony Dorsett and players like that. I mean, that was the prime of the '70s.
Hmm. So let
I'm
me
not
ask.
as young. I'm not as young as I look, people.
He ain't
I'm
as old
really
as he
not.
looks either, y'all. He ain't as old as he looks either.
I'm
Don't let.
not as young as I look.
So you said you got into sports essentially watching the big cousins play football. Did you play any sports yourself, Luke?
Well, not some kind of sports like that. I did try out for track in high school. I did two New York City marathons in my younger years.
Oh, really?
And if you want to count bowling, yeah, go ahead. I know some people don't, but
Yeah.
I was on a junior league for 5 years when I was like about starting around 11.
Okay, okay. I think the
I
PBA.
also do it.
I think the PBA will have something to say about those. Say something to say to those who don't think that bowling is a professional sport.
Right, right. It's
You
controversial, but I've been through that before with that subject as well. Like,
Yeah, yeah. I respectfully, as someone who has played bowling, I've never done it on a a big level, just kind of recreationally.
yeah,
It's a skill, man. It's not none. It's definitely a
it's
sport.
skill.
Can't just walk onto the bowling alley thinking you're just gonna be putting up 300s. Not easy work.
No.
So let me ask you, Lou. You'd cover a number of subjects, a number of sports,
Mhm.
the professionals and on the collegiate level. May I ask, do you have a particular favorite sport to cover?
Basketball.
Hey, me too. Yeah. Is
I think I probably
NBA
followed that even before I started watching football. I think I followed basketball first.
likewise? Okay, respectfully. Was it the pros or the college level?
No, the
I,
pros. The college came when I got into like late in grammar school,
okay, I like that.
like about fourth grade.
So who's the player? Because Michael Jordan, of course. I was grown. I'm over '90s baby.
Sorry, I'm a Nick fan. So to me was number 33, Patrick Ewing.
Pat, he recruited you in. I like that.
I even have a jersey of that number 33. I'm like, and I put in stuff. I always put the number 33 on some things like why 33 because that's Patrick Ewing's number. Okay, enough
Yeah,
said.
respectfully.
They
I
always ask
think
me what or 99. Like what's 99? Wayne Gretzky.
Wayne. Yeah, yeah. You know what I'm saying, Mr. Wayne himself. I was gonna say, man. It's fascinating that I like that you said that because I'm in a lot of basketball circles and I just feel like Patrick Ewing gets a little bit looked over because he came
Yeah,
up in the golden era of big men. You talking about the Hakeems, the Shaqs, the David Robinsons, Tim Duncans. He was one of
yeah,
many, but he was also one of one. Um,
yes.
I definitely think Pat doesn't get the proper credit he's supposed to get.
No, he doesn't. If he would have won a title, then he might have.
Oh yeah, I think if it was.
If they wouldn't blow that dunk in Game 6, they would have had it.
Nah, yeah, yeah, that's what I would say. And that one game was that the same game he missed that mid range jumper like 3 or 4 times, 2 or 3 times at least.
Game 6 of the NBA Finals in '94.
Heartbreaking against the
Thanks a
Rockets.
lot, Starks.
Yeah, yeah, I remember. Yeah, that was. And then y'all got back there
Yeah,
in '99. Yeah, and then you just ran into Twin Towers.
that season anybody could have won because they had the lockout and they didn't play a full season. Only
Mhm.
about what was it, 48 games or so. Anybody could have had that season, and we got there. We were the underdog, but unfortunately, San Antonio was just a little bit better.
Yeah, I would agree. I agree. Um, and I remember that final series clearly. Definitely.
Yes.
Michael Jordan and continuing to watch the NBA after he retired. I
Hmm.
definitely was rooting for your Knicks during that time.
Yeah. Thanks.
Did So let me ask you, because I'm doing hot take segments in these
Right.
interviews, Lou. We got to go viral. Uh, so let me ask you, because I don't know if you know, I'm a sucker for top five, top 10 lists, top 100.
Yes.
Anytime I see one of those particular articles, I'm going to click on it. Um,
Right.
so let me ask you, as a basketball fan, a long time basketball fan, who is in your top five all time
All
basketball?
time. Well, even though I was not really a big fan, I have to go with Jordan, even though I wasn't a big fan of him. You know,
Understandably,
gotta be, I
respectful.
gotta be, I gotta be honest.
Yeah,
Um,
respect.
I was also a big Laker fan, so I was a big fan of Kareem and Magic.
I like that. Yeah,
Yeah.
gotta have time on your list.
Ewing, of course.
Okay, yeah,
Um,
your favorite.
of course, you gotta go with the favorite. Um, I think I go with Dr. J.
Sneaking the doc in there.
Doc, the
Now,
Jordan before Jordan.
now you showing your age, Lou.
We I saw a lot of Sixers games when I was younger. Well, not in person, but I did follow them, through local cable system. Oops, there he goes again.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Lou. I don't
I'm
know why
here.
everybody wants to call me while I'm doing my shit. Oh, one
I'm
second.
used to it.
All right, my deepest apologies, Lou. Sorry about that, y'all.
Okay. Okay. We're back.
But yes, excuse me. We were talking about your top five list. Got Dr. J in there. I do, I
Yeah.
do, I do, I do agree. I concur with you on that one. That Dr. J was Michael Jordan before Michael Jordan, especially on the market.
Absolutely.
Especially, I think that number 32 Nets jersey is going to always be iconic.
Yes.
Um, so I'm very impressed with that top five, Lou. Very impressed. So if you don't mind, let's kind of ease into the business side of things because, of course, as much as we love talking sports and all that kind of stuff, as a content creator, there are many hats that you have to wear,
Yes.
and I'm sure you are very aware of that. Um, so let me
Yes.
ask, so let me ask you, Lou, as a sports reporter, um, what made you start get into sports media and reporting the sports?
I've
Um,
always had, I've always thought in the back of my head, I've always wanted to do something involved with sports, whether it be sportscasting or reporting. I never thought of online because, when I was growing up, we didn't do this stuff online. We did we all do it the old school way.
mm-hmm.
And then one day I found out that through an organization of mine, they were doing a local radio program, sports related. And I asked, I heard you do a sports show. I'm kind of interested. Do you think, well, can anybody do this? Well, I think actually my cat could do better than you, but I will give you a shot anyway.
Yeah,
So in June of 2013, I walked into the office and they tried me out. I didn't think much of the time. I thought it was going to be a one shot deal, like that was it. But they did ask me to come back. It was kind of like I thought it was just like a summer thing back then. But then the one of the people who ran the show hey, you want to be the permanent co-host? Hey, does Spider-Man spin a web? Yeah, sure.
yeah,
That. So I started locally, started small, which most of us do,
yeah. Amen.
and that went on till 2020 for personal reasons. Well, actually, he passed away, so we had to stop that. But that's what started me on the road to here. And then in 2016, I got a chance to do a national show. When it was we were doing on Blog Talk at the time. We moved on since from there, and they asked me to do a segment. I didn't think much of that either. I thought it was going to be done within 15 minutes. But then they were pressed like, "Hey, you want to be a regular here? Sure, I'll do it." And it was some rough spots in the beginning, but I gradually worked on it. And then 2018, I became the host of the show. I was not the original host. I was substituting for a lot of people, and
Yeah.
then the person who discovered me, you know, was impressed and and then the owner of the you want to take over while she's not feeling like, oh sure. And then they you know then the other was moving on, and then it's like, well, who's gonna take over the show, buddy? It's yours. Congratulations. And it's
Nice.
like, the dream came true. Now 11 years later, I'm still here.
Yeah, I love that, Lou. And then that's a fact.
Almost 11. It'll be 11. It'll be 11 in June.
Okay, 11. Okay, so
I mean, I'm in my 11th year now.
okay, you're doing your 11 season right now. Okay, well, definitely,
Yeah,
you,
overall.
you say a decade in the game, and I know you've seen a lot and learned a lot. Um, and
Some
even
results not I didn't like, but
yeah, of course. Okay. I mean, but especially coming from where you came from, and how you
yeah,
see getting online and doing it. I mean, I know that probably getting online is just a totally different world, as far as
sure.
broadcasting. Um,
It's related though, so it's fine. I think we're related. I mean, it's not the traditional way, but no, it's okay. Nothing wrong with
Yeah,
taking a different route.
yeah, yeah, for sure. Yeah, that's very true too. I could honestly say too, Lou, that you have a voice, a tonality for sports announcing as well. I could definitely tell that
Thanks.
you got a voice for it. You should do some voice training, man. Teach these kids how to talk.
Yeah. Well, it's not for everybody. I mean, it wasn't always easy for me because because I used to panic sometimes when I try to get up and say something like like ugh,
Yeah,
I'm like
public.
you know say a little bit of a panic mode. But I think I've learned how to control that.
Yeah, you definitely. I can hear it. I think I got a trained ear for certain voices, but very impressed. I'm
You should
sorry.
hear when I do. You should hear when I do Daffy Duck. No, no, never mind. No.
We had to say that for the parody show. We wanted to do
Yes, yes.
some commercials and some intros and
Yeah,
outros.
we'll do it, and we'll do it for the kid. We'll do it for the kids too.
I got to. You have to. On my YouTube analytics, I don't know how. Because I clicked the button where this isn't for kids, but
Yeah,
a nice percentage of viewers that's in the age range of 13 to 17. So we
13
definitely,
is fine.
yeah,
6, no.
exactly. And I try to watch my language for that reason
Oh yeah,
because
yeah.
know, you
My
know,
show, there's no foul language where you're
yes,
muted.
I love that. These kids are all over there.
In other words, we give them the hook.
Give them a hug. No, like that. I like that. All right, Lou. Let me ask you.
Yeah.
In your 10 years as a sports reporter in the sports media, what has been the most gratifying part for you in the game?
Well, doing what I've been wanting to do since I was a kid, and it's finally paid off. It took a long time to get there.
Yeah,
Yeah. But it's finally paid off.
I love that. So it's like, what is the part that you're just getting up and making content?
Getting up, posting, looking over last night's news because sometimes the games run late. Like this might not be over till 2 in the morning. I don't think I can hold out that long, so I'll just wait till I get up and start over again and check
Mhm,
over the previous day's news and whatnot. It's like running a job.
mhm,
You're on the case. You gotta catch up with the latest news and whatever. I
mhm.
mean, I can't go all night because I'll probably pass out. So,
Yeah,
I'll just leave it like let's see, what's our time? Let's see, 12:15. Yeah, cut. Come
yeah.
back tomorrow.
You ain't kidding, Lou. Something I've learned in this since I've been doing sports, reporting. Yeah, yeah. Those late games, especially during the college season, it's like, the West Coast games, they don't start till midnight.
I'd rather live on the West Coast or Hawaii than do on the East Coast, and these games go late,
Oh yeah, yeah. Kudos. And I only thing.
especially during the playoffs.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's what I'm learning, especially from like the 49er fans. They are dedicated. They are a dedicated fan base out there. I mean, win, lose, draw.
You should, you should see how I am during the hockey playoffs. Ugh.
well,
Let's see,
I'm,
right now, the fifth overtime. Oh boy, it's 3 o'clock in the morning and we're not even done yet. Oh boy, do I need some coffee now? Wow.
I'm getting my taste of it this year because, like you said, Lou, you're in your 11th year, a vet. I'm in my rookie year, so going through this, my
Welcome
first.
aboard, rookie.
Hey, thank you. Yeah, thank you. I got a sports thumb. I don't have much of a green thumb.
We all gotta start somewhere.
Yes, sir. That's very true, and it's kind of how you got into it. Just kind of on the whim. Had some buddies that I talk sports with all the time with, and I was like, you know what, I kind of want to do this on a bigger level, and it's
Yeah.
what it turned into. But that's dope. I like that. So let me ask you on the opposite side of that coin, Lou. What has been in your time in the game? What has been the most?
I've gotten some negative comments where people think, "Oh, you're just a complete amateur. You don't know what you're talking about." And some people are like, "What are you even doing? What do So I come across some harsh criticism, but then again, you kind of have to expect that at some point.
Mm-hmm,
Not everybody's gonna like you. Not everybody's gonna hate you either. But you just gotta work your way through it. And whatever they say, you can always delete the comments and whatnot now.
mm-hmm,
So you know, I mean, look, a lot of people don't even like the professionals. I mean, they've got some complaints too. but they still keep going.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
still keep going too.
Got to get back up for work tomorrow.
Yeah,
I was gonna
yeah.
say too. Um, before you could delete comments and kind of block your haters or critiquers, if you will, because that seems to
Yes.
be a part of the generation now of sports reporters. If people
Well,
don't agree with your opinion, you can just block them. But how was it
well,
before you
the
could
thing is
really?
that social media, has really taken over. I mean, back when I was young, we didn't have the social media, whatnot. They just said their comments on the field and whatnot and everything, and then, well, they'll throw on the news, but it wasn't flashed over Facebook and X, Twitter, as I
Yeah,
used to say.
well,
And
we call it Twix now. It's called
yeah,
Twix.
we Twix. Okay, okay, fair enough. So it's taken a whole different meaning, and the comments can get a little bit out of hand and whatnot, but you just gotta get past it. I mean, it did bother me for a time, but you can't let that get to you
Not like that,
because
yeah.
you're gonna cross it anyway.
That's true. That's so true, Lou. And credit. I like to think that haters and trolls, whatever you want to call them, haters, trolls, guys that just ain't got
Trust.
nothing to do. They're gonna be everywhere, man. In any industry you're in, if you was a
Oh
plumber,
yeah,
there's gonna be a heckler, somebody heckling you at your
sure,
plumbing. So
sure. Staff comics go through it all the time.
hmm it's just part of the game, especially when you.
I try that once too.
But I think that you got to keep the integrity. You got to, no matter what your
We
opinion.
do.
What your opinion is, you got to be honest to yourself so that you can be a service in this game. Because being a yes man and saying what everybody wants you to say, this guy is the go. Oh, this team is the best ever. It's a lot of recency bias today.
Yes.
Whatever happened last night is the greatest thing that ever happened. Let
What
me
was it
ask.
last night? Huh.
Let me ask you, Lou, because we were talking about this a little bit behind the scenes. I didn't put this
Yep.
on the docket in the questions, but let me ask you, who are some of your favorite sports announcers, sports reporters? Because nowadays with a lot of YouTuber guys, they don't really have a appreciation for history.
You
For
want
the
of current or you want of current or of all time? And
let's
you want just play by play or in studio hosts?
let's we here, man. Let's have some fun. Let's do both. What would
Yeah,
your
okay, we'll do the works. Okay. All right. Well, I kind of go for like in each different sport because you have that for um well, some do more than one, but for baseball, I think I had to go with Bob Costas.
okay,
Don't get
respect.
me started on don't get me started on Joe Schmuck, please.
Joe Joe
Sorry,
Schmuck.
Jack.
I like Buck, man. He's not that bad to me.
I like his dad better.
Okay, respectfully. I never knew. I didn't even know his dad did announcing.
Jack Buck, sure. Oh, that's
Jack.
right. You're young.
Yeah, I was.
That's
I
right.
gotta write his name down. I'm
You're
gonna do
young.
do my
No,
research.
Jack did Sunday did ABC baseball and called the Kirk Gibson home run on radio back in 1988. Oh man, what a
That
call!
was. I know that. I remember. I know that moment in history. I did not know that was Joe Buck's dad.
Yeah,
That's interesting.
you should hear me do it. My girlfriend thinks it's nuts.
Yeah, I like that. So Bob
Yeah,
Costas is one of my favorites
for baseball.
for baseball.
Basketball. I gotta go with Marv. I have to go with Marv.
Yeah, Marv Albert. Yes.
Yes,
Uh,
yes, and it
yes.
counts. I
I
had
like.
to.
I like. What's the guy that's on there now? Mike Breen. Mike
Mike
Breen.
Breen. All right, Mike Breen isn't bad. I
Yeah,
mean, he's no Marv, but Mike Breen is good in his own right. I'll give you that.
yeah. He has his own thing, his own lane. But yeah, Marv Albert is probably the goat in that.
Yeah,
In that.
go
Who
Marv.
is who is your football guy?
Football. That's a tough one. It's a really tough one. Well, I think I gotta go old. No, I gotta go with Al Michaels.
Don Michaels. Okay, I like that. I like
Or
that.
or back then, or back in the old days. You have to go with Pat Summerall and John Madden too.
Of course, yeah. I always respected. I always thought of them as the announcers, though, but as the announcers. You know how they called the game
Yes,
was an
yes.
experience. Let me
For
ask you
college
this.
basketball, for college basketball, I think I have to go with Jim Nance.
Jim Nance, okay. I like Jim Nance. I still like Dickie B. That's my boy, man.
All right, baby, what's going on here? Oh, okay, baby. Yeah.
A character, man. You know, I love it when Dickie B just kind of being funny. When he's talking
Yeah.
sports, you know, he's a character in itself. But when he's just kind of
He
talking
also
cat,
coached Rutgers.
who?
He also coached at Rutgers.
Oh yeah, I do remember that. I recall him being a coach. I recall him
From
saying
my
that.
home state.
Oh yeah, is that Rutgers in Jersey? Hey, okay, all right. Look, I didn't. I'm learning.
Gotta give love to my home state.
I like that. I love that. And, no, and a lot of these colleges, I'm getting into the college realm, especially because of you and Big G. I listen to the Winzinski. I can't say his last name. The Winzinski report, and of course Enhance. I
Yeah.
learned from the college game from you, brother, you gentlemen. Um,
Yes.
very knowledgeable in that regard.
Oh,
Um,
yeah. Well, we're pretty tight though.
oh yeah, y'all know that, man. Y'all got, when I sit there and listen to y'all talk about it, it's like just such a wealth of knowledge, you know, that y'all, because y'all
We're
start
we're a close knit group.
guys now, huh?
We're a close knit group.
Yes, yeah, yeah, and I definitely love it. I got to get back over here and come jump back on the panel, man. I feel like I haven't seen you gentlemen in so long, uh,
Yeah.
but that's why I have to do this interview too, Lou, just to make sure we get a
I
chance.
have one for hockey. I have one for hockey as well. Although one of the greats has stepped back a bit. His name was Gary Thorne. He did for NHL hockey, and he also did well Mets broadcast.
The Mets, stinking Mets.
Yeah.
Well, the Mets been a powerhouse these past few years. You know, they've been
Not
cleaning it.
this year.
Yeah, this year was bad. This year was right back to the regular schedule program for the most part.
Yeah.
But the Yankees
Yeah.
too. You know, if the Yankees stinking it up, then it's okay if the Mets stink it up.
Right. But we didn't. We were. I mean, at least we had a winning season. The Mets had won 102 games last year, and they just crashed and burned.
Yeah,
So I would say that the Mets were more disappointing last year than the Yankees. But I was thinking, what? That's ridiculous. No, in terms of what happened last year, the Mets were a disappointment. At least we didn't fall off a cliff.
yeah. Y'all were the better team at one point for sure. I
Yeah.
mean, I just remember now baseball. I'm getting into, especially because my Rangers are in the mix. Uh,
Yes, yes.
big game
Texas
today.
Tucson.
Yeah, we got the in-state rivalry. Big game today.
Yes.
Be glued to the screen, but uh, yeah, I like the Mets. I respect the Mets. You know, I like the Mets more than I like the Yankees. I say that.
So I was saying like the Mets now Mets Rangers game was Gary Thorne. He did Mets games for Channel 11 here in the New York area and did
Yeah,
National Hockey Night coverage.
that's right. Okay, he does hockey right now.
I think he's just retired.
Okay, okay,
Well, he is kind of 70 now, so
yeah. And I gotta look him up. Greg Thorne. You said write that down.
Gary Thorne. Gary Thorne.
Gary Thorne. I'm sorry.
Yes.
Do my research because yeah, I've been doing a lot of, and I
Well,
might
this is in
documentaries on these gentlemen for the legends in the media game, the forefathers.
yes.
All right, Lou, let me ask you. I got a couple more questions. I don't want to hold you up the entire. Um, let me ask you.
Yeah.
Um, would you ever consider going mainstream? Let's just say one of the big four-letter networks come by. And,
Not that I don't think I saw him that good. So you know, they want the top of their class and whatnot and everything like that. I never thought it was that good to make it to the big time.
yeah,
Although I do dream about it. But
yeah,
no, what I'm doing now, I'm happy with what I'm doing with this.
I,
The
I
only
like.
difference between that is because they get the big salaries and we do it for our enjoyment, and that's what's
Yeah,
important.
yeah.
You know, you have to do what you love. You have to have the passion for it, and that's what counts.
Hmm. I agree. I definitely agree because at that point, that's what success is. And the things that give me peace of mind
Yes,
and happiness. If I
and
had
peace of mind.
if I had one of those big salaries, now that would be nice as well to pay a few bills
That's
and
the
so.
only difference. That's the only difference between us and them. That's the
Yeah,
only difference.
that and exactly. And I would say as well, too, Lou. They don't really do it for the purity of the reasons. I see a lot of guys now have agendas. They got their favorite,
Right.
and they have no shame in letting you know I'm not gonna have the same criticism for this athlete that I have for that athlete because this
No.
athlete is my favorite. I think that's so disgusting.
Yeah.
But I love that, Lou. Okay, we got to do one more top five before we end this segment. But it's all about the viral moments in our industry. Um, I know you're a football man. I know you're a
Patrick
very.
Mahomes, number one, of course.
Say it again.
Patrick Mahomes, number one. You can't go wrong with Patrick.
Patrick Mahomes, number one. I'm now. It ain't looking too.
Oh, uh-oh.
I'm a Brock Purdy guy. Now I love Pat. I watch
I like
Patrick.
Brock.
But I'm riding this Brock Purdy train right now. Although
All right.
today I gotta look at my fantasy football again. He was stinking it up when I last. Wow, he threw his first interception today.
I'll take Brock. I mean, Mr. Irrelevant. Well, not anymore, but
Yeah,
he's
yeah,
in this game. Uh, Josh Allen of the Bills.
I like that. Got you number two.
Yes, I know someone personally who likes Josh Allen. I can't imagine why, but uh, Jalen Hurts is another one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and the quarterback for the Lions, who has really stepped up this game and made the Lions, a better team than what they used because they were just, a trash dump in the NFL for so long.
Yes, sir. Yes, they were. Mr. Jared Goff.
Jared Goff. I
Yeah,
mean, well, he did great for the Rams too,
yeah,
which was kind of mediocre before he got there. But when he came to Detroit, that team just skyrocketed.
yep. That's so true.
Stafford's loss is Goff's gain. How about that?
I always say that Jared Goff. Now people forget because like that recency bias. He was one of the better quarterbacks in the league just 2 or 3 seasons ago. Like he was right there with
Right.
Josh Allen. I mean, I wouldn't say Patrick Mahomes or Jalen Hurts. He wasn't up there with those, but he was in the same conversations with the Brock Purdy's, the Josh Allens, Joe Burrow, those guys that was on their come
Yeah,
ups.
but Burrow gets into too much.
Yeah, I mean, I think that it's a lot of premature conversations with Joe Burrow because he got to the Super
Yeah.
Bowl.
I have nothing against him, but his injuries, it's like one of the great quarterbacks. No, his injuries set him back a bit.
Yeah, yeah.
So I think
This,
it's pushing the envelope a bit.
yeah, this season for sure. I agree.
Yeah,
It's really, and I said that too. His injury, the Bengals should have rested him the first few weeks and let him heal up all the way. But
yeah,
him all that money, you're like, get on out there, young man.
yeah. Or you'll
And
have a mag Monday afterwards. Oh, oops, wrong Bengals. Oops, wrong
listen, if
one.
you
Yeah,
get paid
show my
60,
age. Show my age.
you're getting paid $65 million, and I can only imagine, Lou, if we were talking about a young Lou, with your 2021, could you imagine an athlete getting paid $65 million at
Not
that
back in my day. No, not back in
time?
my day.
Dude, that is generational money.
Back then, back in the 80s and 90s, it was about, I bet maybe like 20 million. We didn't have this about 60 million, 70 million, and up like that. Everything has changed so much in 40 years.
Yeah, you ain't kidding. The economy being number one because
Well,
uh,
yeah.
I remember a couple years ago when Colin Kaepernick signed his contract, that big contract, and ESPN made some hoopla about it.
Yes.
That it was at that very moment, Lou, that I thought that sports had gone too far. These
Right.
guys are getting paid astronomical money, and it's only gotten worse since then. So,
It started back in the 90s, really.
who was the first big major contract that you can recall?
Uh, that's a tough one. But I think with baseball and football, they were the ones that were generating the most money.
Yeah, well,
So yeah. So I can't really say by players wise, but teams wise with the Yankees and Mets who have the highest payrolls. But remember, your payroll means nothing. If you're not producing the numbers, you gain the results. I don't care what your name is.
no, that's
You
so
know.
true.
Yeah. Oh, I'm gonna let's see. I'm making $100 million. I'm gonna hit 50 home runs this year. Really? You haven't
Hmm.
done anything so far.
Yeah, and that's another thing. That when they pay these guys, I think Dak
Expect
Prescott
them
is.
to deliver, and they don't deliver.
I think Dak Prescott is the number one example of that right now. You got to pay
Uh,
money, and they expect him to just all of a sudden be a savior for the Cowboys when he was never that in college. He was
true.
never that ever in his first 7 years. So just because you give a guy $60 million doesn't make him a Tom
See, that's
Brady.
the thing. every when you get all this paid money, you expect to be your golden boy, and they don't come out being it.
Yeah.
That's what
Mm-hmm.
it takes. You're gonna be our franchise player. You're gonna be our golden boy, our go-to guy, etc. etc. But when they fail to deliver, then what?
Just money down the drain because now you can't build around your other players. You can't pay anybody. You forfeit
Yeah.
a lot of draft picks if you want to have a formidable team. It's just
Yes.
a recipe of disaster. It's very ugly. Lou,
Yeah.
sorry. Before we do our last segment, can you give me one
Yes.
more second? I gotta take this call.
Oh.
It's just the wife. You know how it is.
Well, he's gonna ask you one more question.
Oh, okay. Louis, you sounded terrific.
Nice.
You did a great job.
Oh, it was back.
All right. Sorry about that. I am
All
back.
right.
Uh, fan duty calls, man. When we do get those big, big salaries, first
Right.
thing first thing I'm gonna do is buy my wife something to keep her occupied while we do our show.
Of course.
Yeah, like, here's your big whatever, your
Right.
pink. But yeah, Lou, it's definitely been a pleasure doing this interview with you. May I ask, could you do your last plugs? Not your last,
Sure.
excuse me. You let the audience know where they can find you.
Simple. All right. You can look me up on Facebook.
Yes.
Just type in my name, and I'll be I'll be on it. You can take your comments from that. You can also look me up on the show with YouTube. Go to YouTube and type in the Enhanced Sports Show. You'll see the latest show up its entirety. But like I said, though, it won't be. I'll take your questions. If you call in live, you can hear yourself. But when it's on the YouTube after the show, you won't. We are trying to fix that.
Okay.
To kind of use speakers. But other than that, you call in, you can ask your question, you can, and you'll hear yourself live. Just remember, that's at your own risk. And the number to call is 512-543-4662, and it's a live show from 4 to 6 on Saturday, my time. For you, that's 3 to 5.
Okay. I'll make sure when I do my edits, I put the number on the screen as well.
So do I.
Yeah, and make sure
Yeah.
that folks. Yeah,
I forgot you were central.
yeah. I'm an hour ahead
I
of you.
forgot.
Uh, and it just
Actually, you're
depends.
not behind.
Depends on now, Keith. You're in New Jersey, correct?
Correct. That's East Coast.
Yeah. So Eastern time, just for the audience sake, is Lou's show is always going to be Eastern time of the time that he said he's going to do, which is usually I believe 5
4.
at 4. Sorry, I'm sorry.
4 to
So
6. 4 to 6.
so there'll be 3 to 5.
What?
My time.
It was 5 to 7, but we made a accommodation for someone else who follows me after. So I had my show an hour up last year. So just to accommodate him, which is fine. He's a great guy too.
I like that. Okay. I definitely try to get in there this weekend because it's long overdue, Lou. Like I say, I'm not gonna be
Yeah.
away too long next time, man. But I definitely appreciate you coming along, doing this
Thank
interview.
you. Thanks for asking me.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And like I say, man, we're gonna be doing some more work. There's a lot to talk about in the sports world when we get back to the offices and see what's going on in the headlines. But that's right, man. My good friend, the living legend. Although he wouldn't say the same, I'm gonna give him his flowers. Louis Tenore, Enhanced Sports Show. Make sure you check him out. It is your boy Tony the Savant. Thank you all for tuning in to Sports and Motivation Episode 2. I think we got another guest coming on later on this evening to do another interview. I'm not particularly sure. We got to get on the booking for that, but just until next time, you know my slogan: y'all the bosses. I'm the guy that loves to work. Let me get back to work. Peace.
Thanks. Okay, so we out of here. Okay.